There we go.
When you met Bradley Martyn, what'd you ask him?
What
did you talk about?
I think I said something to the effect of, I think I said, what did I say? I said, I think I pull off the tank better. So it's just something stupid like that.
Oh my God.
Something extremely stupid.
And what was his response?
He just laughed. He said, I like it. He's a cool guy.
That I get to see him saying that shit too.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Welcome back, everybody, to Visionary Flow Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Damas.
I'm your co-host, Kevin Thomas.
We got producer Sofi here
What's up?
again. She's back
Nice to meet
after
you.
after last week
After
you weren't
hiatus.
here. The week before that you were here.
No, it was just last week, I thought.
No, it was two.
No, it was just last week.
Yeah, but we just did Jeff and Becky.
Well, then, so technically,
Yeah.
for 2 episodes, they haven't heard you.
My beautiful voice.
Obviously. That's what I was going to say. But in the studio today, we have a special guest. I met Nick really towards the back end of my freshman year. Came into my room shirtless. Actually, no, he had a wife beater on and then took it off. So
Upon request.
obviously upon request.
I just don't go into people's rooms taking my shirt
and
off.
that's because Nick
Yes, you
is a health and fitness enthusiast and aspiring bodybuilder. He has his own Instagram page where he takes shirtless pics and flexes his titties for everybody to see. So
You can really see how big his arms are.
yeah, you can really
Yes.
see how big his arms are. What I really want to ask you, and I'm gonna jump right into it.
All right.
What made you decide? I want my arms to be massive as fuck. I want my legs to be massive as fuck.
Well,
I want to just be big.
Well, honestly, it's just kind of something that stuck for me. Because I was lifting. There's several elements. The most probably superficial is I was always been the smaller kid, and growing up where I was, it's country, so it's a bunch of corn-fed, just big kids. Everybody's 6'5", looks like they run off of oil, and is like at least 300 pounds. So
That's a giant.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's a bunch of big kids. A little bit of exaggeration, but so it's like, you know what? I'm tired of being the small kid because in high school, I was like, I'm 5'6", so 5'8", 5'9" now.
What state is this?
It's Ohio. It's just an hour and a half north of Xavier.
Shout out to
St. Paris, Ohio.
there you go.
St. Paris.
If you're
It's out of
listening,
country.
if you're
It's
listening,
very
put in the
country.
comments below. Let us know.
Yeah. So,
nobody is, but
what kickstarted you into lifting originally? Because you said you started lifting and then you wanted to be like the big kid. So what made you originally pick up that little dumbbell or however heavy it was? I don't know what you started
I
at.
think
You
the
started with 100-pound
very
dumbbells, so.
first start would be my dad brought home this weight bench that him and his buddy went in together on from work. And he just brought it home, and he started lifting, and, he's drinking all the muscle milks and shit that you buy from Walmart. So, I'm
milk.
I was like, okay, well, this looks fun. And it's like, I tried it, and then just kind of stuck from there. And, I'd work out several times a week there at home.
How old were you?
Not every day. I was, I think, tail end of 6th, maybe going into summer, 7th grade. So I would have been
Okay.
like
That's
13.
young. That's
Yeah.
young.
See, when he started, I thought you were going to say, I think I was 7.
Seven?
And I was going to be
No.
like, oh my God, you were
No.
7
I
years
thought you
old?
were gonna say
Well, no,
something.
there are kids that start when they're like 4 or
Yeah.
5 years
I
old.
Yeah,
mean-
but isn't that unhealthy?
It depends.
Well, they get
the
strong as fuck.
The only
Well, yeah.
unhealthy aspect, I'm not going to speak on it as a blanket because there are many determining factors. I'd say as long as they're receiving proper rest and nutrition, that it would be fine. I really don't think there's a whole stunt the growth thing
Okay.
like everybody says. Because as long as you're not overworking, because the whole principle of overworking or
Yeah.
I forget, I'm drawing a blank, whatever. But it's that you're not getting proper rest and you're not getting proper amount of nutrition. So
Yeah.
as long as you have those two, I don't think that you're really going to hurt yourself. But I wasn't hardcore training like I am now. If you see me in the gym, I wasn't going that hard when
Yeah.
I was 13 years old.
Man,
So
dripping
wait.
sweat all in the gym.
Are you
What?
going to the gym after this?
I
am.
might.
I
I probably will.
actually am.
I probably will.
So what is your workout? What is your typical workout?
What? What is your workout?
Yeah, no, what do you do when you go to the gym? What's your go-to?
Well, I like to do a typical split. I'll work each primary and a secondary muscle group twice a week. So let's say it's Monday. Monday is National Chest Day.
National Chest Day.
So the gym's flooded. It's hard to find anything to work your chest, but everybody does chest on Monday regardless.
I don't know.
I
So-
have never heard of that.
Well, Kevin, do you go to the gym?
No.
That's probably why.
That's what it is.
But it's all good, I'll say. But I'll probably...
He was really trying to make that not sound offensive.
Yeah, you said it, not me.
Yeah, I know, and you were trying to cover me. You were like, actually,
You know what?
Like
Yeah, it's just, no offense. But I'll typically hit like I'll warm up first, you know, because that's something I've really hammered in is flexibility and just something I didn't focus on early on. But now as you get older, you definitely gotta take care of your joints and your muscle just flexibility because it doesn't get better with time if you don't work on it. It just gets worse. But I'll stretch. Typically, I'll hit like a flat bench, maybe some chest machines, some cable machines.
And what is your bench at right now?
It's lower than it was at my highest. I don't know. I haven't maxed in a while. If I had to guess, I'd probably say 270.
Yeah, that's 270. Anybody try to outlift them?
Yeah,
you can't.
same.
Yeah, you could. That's not.
Well, actually, it won't.
My-
really,
What was your peak then?
My peak would have been when I was in high school, my senior year. When I was wrestling, I was my heaviest. This was when I was at my heaviest. I was about 220, 225.
Whoa.
I benched 290, but I was also like throwing up 100-pound dumbbells for like sets of 15.
Shit.
Yeah, like
Yo.
yeah. So I was definitely stronger back then, but I was also bigger. And
That's like the fucking muscle man at like the old school carnivals and shit.
Yes.
With the fucking
Just throwing
with
the dumbbell over their head.
The fucking, what the fuck is that?
Single
Leotard?
strap
Yeah,
leotard.
the sash. I don't know what it's
The
called.
single strap leotard.
That one.
Like
Yeah.
Andre the Giant.
Yep, that's
Yep.
what it is. That's pretty crazy though.
But yeah, after wrestling, you know, when I got that big, I was 160 my junior year, so I
Yeah.
put on about 60 pounds in the
Holy
course
crap.
of a year. I could show you the pictures,
Fuck?
or you could post.
My man got
Instagram.
big.
Yeah,
Big.
I mean, because I don't have those on. I might have the transformation still on.
Wait,
there.
was that a dirty bulk?
It was very dirty bulk.
Okay.
It was brownie bars and gummy bears
Oh.
before bed, just so I could keep my weight up. And
That's fucking crazy.
yeah, I mean,
I don't. What's
Where,
the
like,
dirty
were you?
bulk?
Did you want to get to 160? Was that the goal?
Kev so lost.
Was
What's it-
160 the
wait.
goal?
225 from 160 was the goal. At least
Yeah.
because, well, I was just going for as much weight as I could put on possible because, you know, 215 was the minimum requirement to wrestle heavyweight. And that was
Yeah.
the only weight class that I could make the cut. But a dirty bulk is a bulk that's not clean. Clean bulk is just a caloric surplus of natural foods or like
Okay.
the most
Chicken
nutrient dense
breast.
food. Yeah, like it'd be a chicken breast, broccoli,
Broccoli.
So
rice.
it's eating healthy and still
Sweet
working
potato.
out.
Yeah,
and a
a
dirty,
dirty
bulk
bulk-
is just give me the weight.
It's basically what people say when they want the excuse, like, yeah, I'm just eating whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
It's,
just
it's
put on the
literally an
weight.
excuse to eat anything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tight.
But the thing is, the people that say dirty bulk tend to be the people that naturally eat a lot more. So when they say
Yeah.
dirty bulk, I mean they're eating a whole pie of pizza and like 3 Subway sandwiches.
Bro,
that's their dirty
that's
bulk.
their-
That's the dream.
That's
the
their
dirty bulk.
justification for what they're doing.
Yeah.
But at the heaviest
Just
of it,
pack it in.
I put on about 20 pounds in 1 month, which
What?
is
What the
that's it's
hell?
I,
very
know, I did that
unhealthy.
between my freshman and sophomore year of high
Shit, I
school.
could do
But see, that was like forcing. Like my body was
Same.
in shock because I just got done working like this painting job
Yeah.
where I was
Oh,
working
yeah.
anywhere from 12 to 18 hours a day. So my body, because I was 200 pounds at this point, and my body was in shock because you know
Yeah.
I wasn't eating like I wasn't training like I was, you know, because
Yeah.
I needed money. Everybody needs money.
Facts.
So by the time I got done with this about 2.5 week job of working, you know, 12 to 18 hours every day,
Oh, shit.
I went back home and was weighing about 190 something, and I just went to GNC and, you know, I was like, just, you know, fuck me up. Give me everything.
Fuck me
up.
up.
You know, and then, you know, I was eating, like, doing mass gainer shakes in the morning and night, taking this after, this before,
Yeah.
these pills, and, yeah, I gained about 20 pounds a month. I went back to GNC at the end of that month, and I was like, remember me? And they're like, who the fuck is that? Who is that? That's what these
They
things
call
are
the
doing?
fucking SWAT team. They're like, there's a fucking animal outside. Somebody needs to go get him. So, actually, I have a question. All of that knowledge of what to take, where did you learn that from? Was it just the internet? Or?
Well, a lot of it comes from, I mean, there's the anecdotal evidence aspect where, you know, it's like my gym bro.
Yeah.
My gym bro says take this, you'll get huge. Or, you know, I knew a guy who knew a guy
Yeah.
who knew a guy
Who said,
took
"Take this."
Yeah.
You get massive.
But, yeah, a lot of it comes from just interest, like looking up online or
Yeah.
watching, you know, other people into fitness or YouTubers. You know, that's definitely
Bradley Martyn?
Bradley Martyn. I met Bradley Martyn at the
Really?
Arnold.
Shit.
It was in 2015.
you two, you don't seem to know who Bradley Martyn is.
No.
Bradley Martyn is a very, very strong man who does a lot of fucking crazy shit in the gym.
I mean, I figured he was gonna be.
He's he squatted 315 on one of the hoverboards.
Did it break?
No,
No.
he was just chilling.
What?
He also he was in like the 4 foot deep end of a pool.
Yeah,
and he
jumped straight out.
Yeah.
Jumped straight out.
What?
Hey, how do you go out of a fucking
pool?
I don't know.
No.
But,
That's
yeah.
I look this guy up. That's tight.
yeah.
No, he's pretty dope.
Yeah.
But I want to talk more about like your research into supplements because I know you and I have
Yeah.
talked about
Yeah.
pharmacology to a great deal.
Yeah.
So kind of what are your resources when you're going into this? Like, do you mainly look in forums or do you read like academic articles on the subjects or
well,
what?
I definitely encourage everybody, like, you know, because there are people ask me, what do I take? Or, you know, what should I take? Well, I've always encouraged people, you know, even since I was in high school, you got to do your own research. And you got to,
Yes.
you got to know your own body because my body is not your body. What you take will
Absolutely.
not affect you the same way as what I take.
Absolutely.
Just a quick note, before you put anything that's not food or like normal beverage into your body, research what it is. If you're
Yeah.
doing a drug, know the effects.
Mm-hmm.
If you're having a supplement, know the way it's going to interact with your body.
Especially with supplements because they're not FDA regulated, which is what a lot of people
Oh,
don't
they
know.
aren't.
No, that
Wow.
stopped. I forget how many years ago, but that's the supplement industry is booming, and I mean, they don't have to prove what's on there. There's a little asterisk, you know, in clinical studies or whatever, and they don't have to prove it.
That's
The
messed
FDA,
up.
you have to prove it.
That's crazy.
That's so messed up.
I mean, it is what it is. I don't like that there's, you know, I mean, it still gets tested, and if there's a dangerous
Yeah.
substance, you know, they'll pull it from the market or it'll get tested. And there's
Or
a
at
few,
least we hope they will.
Yeah.
well, there's been a few cases where they pulled things from the market, which were rightfully pulled, and then other things where they pulled it because people didn't really know what they were doing with it or talking
Yeah.
about it, or it was just being abused, but it could have been used good, you know, just like any other drug.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, definitely research into that. And what I don't like is they can say proprietary blend on it, and proprietary
What does
blend,
that mean?
it's just another way of listing the ingredients without actually listing what's in there or how much is in there. Like some
Oh.
That's fucking crazy.
Some-
That is
some-
messed
that's
up.
some proprietary blends will say the ingredients, they just won't say the amounts, which is like, I like to know the amount of what I'm taking. Like
Yeah.
some will say how
Yeah.
much caffeine's in it, and you know, I like to monitor how much caffeine I take because, you know,
Yeah.
I mean generally I have a lot of caffeine, but I'd still like to, you know, monitor
Yeah,
how
you'd
much I
like to
take.
know how much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas others, their proprietary blend will just, you know, muscle blend 3,000, and then they'll just have like, I don't know,
Muscle
800
blend.
milligrams, and that's all they got to
Muscle
say.
blend 3,000.
Yeah,
It's
Whoa.
just crazy.
yeah,
That's yeah.
Wild.
yeah. But definitely, just like anybody who wants to like consider taking whatever supplement they heard of or something that your buddy recommended, just go on the back. You know, look at the ingredients. Just because something says proprietary blend doesn't mean that you know, oh, it's dangerous. But just look at the ingredients on there, look them up, look at the research effects. I mean, that's how I started, you know, just, you know, type it in, see what it's linked to, see if you have any problems with that, or if you're already talking to a doctor and you know that you have a problem with some substances, just err on the safe side.
Yeah.
That's super.
Do you have a particular type of protein that you prefer?
Yes. You were being sponsored by your favorite
Damn, that
protein
was a
band-
struggle
brand.
question.
What is it?
I really don't have a favorite protein, to be honest, because, I mean, I hate to say that protein's protein because there are supplement companies that do this thing called amino spiking, which means that it has this, they'll say it has this amount of protein, like let's say it'll have 24 grams of protein per scoop, but they'll actually have like an amino acid equivalent that equates to that amount of protein. So it's not actually that amount of protein, but it's
That's
kind of like that amount of
shitty.
protein. Yeah, it's kind of like a bait and switch.
So do you have a preference, like whey, soy?
I like whey. I typically don't like soy just because soy is higher than an estrogen.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be a woman.
These don't need to get any bigger, you know.
These his titties is what he touched.
But casein protein, I like that too. Mass gainer. Honestly, I just any type of protein to me is there's a way to use it, you know.
Mm-hmm. So you're real resourceful with anything that you could get your hands on.
Yeah, and you know that comes also with just kind of being broken sometimes, you know, not
Yeah.
always being able to,
Yeah.
you know, go to the store.
You can't get the top
Yeah.
quality shit. So sometimes
Yeah.
you gotta
You
start.
know, and it's not honestly all about the price tag. Like just because
Mhm.
you go to GNC and they have this $50 tub of protein doesn't mean that it's going to get you any bigger than the $20
Yeah.
tub of protein you get at Walmart. Maybe a higher quality, but the biggest thing is the supplement works as hard as you do. It doesn't do anything that you don't.
No,
So-
and I want to continue on that because I want to make sure that people understand like what it is
Yeah.
that this is because
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah, how
this
do
is really
supplements
important.
help you?
Well, I mean, a supplement works as hard as you do. Like protein, like, okay, like how many people have like looked in a magazine or like a fitness thing and it's like, this is just 8 weeks after taking this product.
Oh yeah, I see
have.
those.
All
online
right,
the
that is the
time.
largest
Make me feel
misconception.
bad
I mean,
about myself.
if and, you know, to the people watching and you guys, you ever watched Bigger, Faster, Stronger?
Nope.
No.
Definitely recommend it. Look into it. It talks about supplements, talks about steroids, talks about bodybuilding, a lot of popular topics, you know, that we may or may not get a chance to cover, but I definitely look into that after the fact. But a lot of people have this misconception if you take protein or you take this supplement. I mean, some supplements work better than others or have stronger effects than others. But protein alone will not get you that 8-week transformation where you look like average Joe to a Greek god.
Yeah.
It's what protein really is. It's because some people use them as meal replacement shakes. It's nutrition for your workout, after your workout. I mean, a lot of people think it's like, oh, you know, it's this magic blend that's going to jack my muscles up. It's really eating a meal after workout, like a full, dense, nutrient-dense meal, like of good food, like something we'd call clean food, not dirty food.
And clean eats.
Clean eating or good eating, like, or even, you know, like if you ate a steak and like 2 potatoes or some rice, just something dense, that would have almost a better effect
That's a good view.
than eating
I
eating the protein alone afterwards. Like,
Yeah.
and now in conjunction, both of them together, that's a good, you know. I mean, if you're trying to, like, 'cause some people do macros, if you're trying to hit your carbs and your protein.
Yeah.
So
Doing macros is a bitch.
I personally am not a proponent of macros. I don't really like macros.
I can't do that shit. I'm
Why not?
Well, it's not everybody's like this, but a lot of macro people are like, a calorie is a calorie, you know. So that's kind of like saying, and it's in a bro science video, like a Pop-Tart calorie is the same as like a broccoli calorie. When
Exactly. And
it's
that's
not.
true at all. Yeah.
I mean, because
Okay.
if you have if we both have the same macro index for, you know, carbs, proteins, fats, and, you know, every day I eat veggies to fill my loose ends, and every day you have a cookie to fill your loose ends, there's going to be a difference.
Cookies.
No,
But you know what I'm saying?
It's like saying that bottled water is the same as like stream water. Like if you try to drink both of them.
Like distilled.
That
and-
one you lost me.
like, well, no, it's like
I
distilled
thought you
water.
were gonna say like bottled water versus like a Gatorade.
I think it means like distilled water versus regular drinking water, because distilled water
Okay,
has no
okay,
minerals.
okay.
It's just
Oh.
pure water.
He got
versus-
it.
Alright.
I just said it
Okay.
completely. I just said it really bad.
That makes a lot more sense. I want to ask
Oh,
about your
excuse
future
me.
now, and the fact that we
Wait.
introduced you.
You said your future?
Yes.
Slow it down, bro.
Well,
You
no,
gotta slow
I want to ask about
down.
the aspiring bodybuilder.
I still got
aspect
some
of the
more
intro.
questions about Nick
Nutrients?
right now.
Well, this
Nick
is-
right now.
I'm interested. Will you train me?
I'm always open to helping people. I mean, the only thing that I've had with people is like, you know, I'll write them a workout program or I'll give them some advice, and they're either not working out or they'll completely ignore my advice. Or they'll
Oh
just go
no,
fix
that's not what I would do. I'm like
Yeah.
really like I work out all the time, and I used to eat healthy over
Many
the summer,
gains.
but
We're
once
going
I
the
get
next button
back,
down.
it's
It's hot
like
in the studio.
yeah, it's really hot.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Take
so
it.
I haven't
Oh,
been eating
take
right.
it.
A bit
Uh-oh.
more. Yeah, a meal plan would be probably the most.
Yeah, honestly, and that's the thing that's hard, like eating at the calf, because I mean, some of the food is healthier. There's good. Like I'm not bagging on the Xavier calf. I mean,
No,
y'all-
you should. You
No,
should.
all the-
that's bag on
I
the
love
calf.
all I
Yeah,
love all the
let's
workers
back on the
there,
calf.
but like
Oh,
some
yeah,
of
the
the
workers
food
are great,
some of the
yeah.
food options there aren't the best, and you know some of the foods, I mean, definitely aren't as healthy as they could be. I mean,
Even
I wish,
the salad, like the lettuce is. It doesn't taste like healthy lettuce.
yeah.
No.
It tastes like bad lettuce.
Shoot.
And that's the hardest thing, you know, especially in college, because like, I mean, you're always either studying or you got 30 different places to be, or you may not have access like you did at home because your parents would go stock up grogroceries. You know, I'll be at this, or you go to the grocery with your parents. Can you please get this? Oh.
Bougie groceries. I miss it.
For sure. But yeah, I mean, just dedication is definitely something that shows to me, like when helping somebody, because I've seen people, you know, who start off like I did, who are 130 pounds, and they're like, will you help me? And then I've also seen people, you know, who with halfway decent foundations, you know, they're like, they're stronger, they're more muscular, and they just completely disregard everything you say. So, you know, I've seen it at both ends.
Interesting.
With those people, do you just decide to leave them alone, or?
It depends. I mean, again, varies person to person. I mean, typically, if somebody keeps ignoring advice when they ask for my help, I mean, I'm not gonna take any offense to that. I'm just gonna kind of see that as, okay, you're still gonna do that. Like I knew this one guy who would bench, and he had a chest imbalance. Or he said he had a chest imbalance or a pec imbalance, and he would do dumbbell bench with like a 40 and a 45 dumbbell, like a 40 here and a 45 here. Lions like don't do that. That's not going to help your imbalance.
That's funny.
That's just going to build a bigger imbalance.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Ridiculous.
I mean, you wouldn't take a barbell and put a 45 on one side and then put a 35 on the other.
Well, yeah, that'd just be fucking ridiculous. Actually, I've done that by accident.
Oh
When
yeah,
I was
everybody's
squatting.
done that by
When I was
accident.
squatting one time, and like you get under the bar. I unrack it. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe I'm not in the middle, so I shift over.
Yeah.
Makes it worse.
But you try not to look stupid because
Yeah, exactly,
somebody noticed,
exactly.
but somebody didn't want to
so
tell
like, you do a couple reps. You do a couple reps where
Yeah.
they fucked up just because. You're just like, all right, maybe just do like 2 reps and then rack it so it doesn't look that
Yeah.
suspect. But so you're wrestling in high school, and then at what point do you say, okay, I'm not gonna wrestle anymore and I'm gonna focus on just bodybuilding?
Well, yeah, when I kind of decided I was going to wrestle, that was kind of like the down of my physique because I had, sounding, conceited, I had a really good physique pre-wrestling, I was I was like 160, 165, and I think that was the most toned my midsection ever was in the lowest body fat.
He was cut.
But
Striations. Veins.
yeah, when I gained all that weight, I mean, I didn't have a gut, but I had a little belly fat, and I had some fat everywhere. If I showed a picture, you guys would be like, "Wow, that is."
I think
Actually,
actually
yeah, I think
it's like
you
the
did. Yeah, you
the
you
balloon
showed
up
me.
face.
Instagram, I want to see all these pictures.
Newport _2797. Y'all want to check out the personal Instagram?
we will put it in the bio.
Of course.
But,
Description.
Yeah, but no, like when did you become an aspiring bodybuilder? When did that aspiration come into your life?
The aspiration to be a bodybuilder, I would say, has been present since probably
1998. Out the womb. You were
97,
97, yeah.
But
one of those
probably
jokes.
my sophomore year going into junior year, like the summer between, is when I really kicked on the burners. It's like this is something that I could really see myself doing. Something I want to do. And I mean, like that summer, I mean, like that's when I was like at 160, 165. I was working out in the morning. I was working out at night, like 5 or 6 times a week. I was eating everything clean. Like I was eating grass-fed beef and all this other stuff. Yeah.
Shit.
Oh my gosh,
That's
your
Bradley
arm is-
Martyn.
That's Bradley Martyn.
Bradley Martyn.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Sophie just brought up this picture of a massive guy next
Bradley
to a
Martyn.
massive Nick.
I was
Bradley Martyn, what a guy.
what size was I in that pic? I was probably about 190 shooting at 200 in that pic, I think.
Wow.
If memory served. Well, no, I would have been about 180 to 190. Because that would have been
If we can do this right, I might put that picture in the video. If not,
my face
then-
in that picture is absolutely terrible. I fanboyed so hard. I actually said
So, getting back into your aspirations for bodybuilding, have you ever competed in a contest?
I've never competed in a contest yet because it's really it's a journey. It's kind of like it's a lot of time because you have to do a show prep, and it's also a lot of money as well. That entails a cutting phase or a cutting stage, what we call it. So you're at a caloric deficit, kind of losing weight to show more muscle definition.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, like just how a bulk is a caloric surplus, a cut is a caloric deficit.
Okay. So how much training would you have to put into that? And like you mentioned it was money. Is that fees or is that just like the cost
It's a
of,
lot.
like, getting into shape?
Because you have to be registered with that federation. You have to buy a membership into that federation. You have to get a show tan for the stage.
What do you
have
mean a
to-
show tan?
It shows off your muscle definition.
Yeah.
The more
why, like-
because see right now I'm pretty pale, so I'd be washed out by a stage light, even if I was ripped.
Okay.
And that's why, well, not to make it like race.
Oh, no,
but,
like,
black people tend to like we don't need tans in that situation because
I mean, you just
like the darker skin color makes
like
the muscles
honestly,
more
like
defined.
if me and Alex were the same weight and had the same level of muscularity, he would appear more defined than me,
Yeah.
just
If I
because
was as
his skin
strong as
tone
Nick.
shows the muscle. But it's a completely factual
No,
thing.
no, yeah, it's like
it's not like a
100%.
race thing where people, they say something, make it up or whatever. It's,
no, it's
really
like
cool.
just actually true. It's like just based off of
Yeah.
colors, like
yeah, it's just and how light reflects off that.
yeah.
But
That's why everyone wants to be tan.
yeah. But
you meant to say black.
That's yeah, you're right.
But yeah, you got to get your tan. You got to get your nutrition on point because you going into that you have to eat good foods. You know, you're not just eating less food to meet that caloric deficit. You're eating good nutrient dense food that's going to give you energy to go through this cut, because during the cut you're going to feel like crap. You're going to feel like death. You're going to wake up sometimes. You're going to be like, ugh. But, and then, cost of supplements, gym memberships, and it's just time, because if you really got your heart into it, you got to make sure you're on the gym on time, you got to eat your meals on time. So it's just a lot of time and effort that, I can't say that I couldn't do it because, if there's a will, there's a way, but it'd just be very difficult right now with what I want to do, academic-wise and work-wise right now, but I definitely want to compete in the future.
So this is just curiosity. Do you have fun when you're working out? Like, is it like a way that you relax, or is this like your fun?
It's a combination of things. Like, cause I do have fun going into the gym, cause I have friends who go to the gym or they kind of share that same interest, just like in anything. Like when you go to somebody at like UFC and you see them getting punched in the face, like, is that fun for you? It's like, yeah. It's a good time. It's the same thing with like lifting. You put on some like heavy ass weight, or you're going and you can feel like your muscles, those micro tears forming.
That's a great feeling.
Yeah, and it's a pump. Even Arnold said, in the words of Arnold, when I'm on stage, it feels like I'm coming.
All right, didn't know he said
No,
that.
he said like the goal of like working out is to come everywhere. He's like, I come in the bathroom, I come in the.
What the hell?
Do not quote us on that.
Yeah, don't quote us on that. But I'm pretty sure he said. No,
watch Pumping Iron, and then it'll.
It's a
I
great
don't know if
video.
I want to now.
but like what he's saying is
that satisfaction level is so
exactly.
Yeah,
That
I
level
feel like
of
there's
pleasure
a better
is what
way
you
you
should
could
be.
No,
have put it.
that's exactly
that's perfect.
Because
it's perfect.
getting off this whole Arnold,
Yeah.
Actually, I'll put the link to the description to the Pumping Iron video in the description.
But it's fun, and also it's been therapeutic. It's been relaxation, or it's just been like if I've had a bad day, or I'll get that energy out there. Sometimes I'll just go into the gym and it's like I really don't feel like doing this thing. That's where you either gotta find some inner determination, some motivation is, I like the word, but it's motivation is fleeting.
Yeah.
So you get motivated, but then you're not going to be motivated every day. So that's where
it's like a job.
In some terms, but it's trying to find a good way to put it. But it's just that you're set that you're going to go in every day and you're going to do this no matter what. So it's like it's fun. But sometimes it can also feel like a chore.
Yeah, and when it does feel like a chore, what do you do to get past that?
I usually just kind of I look back at where I started, and I kind of look at like the progress I'm making, or just as conceited as it sounds, go to a mirror, do some posing, and that kind of helps. It's kind of like you're like what all is this for?
Sophie shaking her head. Yeah. Posing.
No, I know what you mean. Like I do this with writing because I really do enjoy writing, but some days I'm just like, I can't string a sentence together. But I still have to be like, okay, if I want to like get better at this, I need to keep on writing.
Yeah, exactly.
I read all my good stuff too. I love reading it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. I forgot.
I don't do that.
I forgot.
I don't do that.
I do.
I look back at like my first draft. It's like I keep all of my drafts. Like I have to have them printed out and marked up so that I can see that I'm making progress. So like I'll go back to the first draft and I'll read and be like, this is awful. This is the worst thing I've ever read. And then I'll read the thing I'm working on now. And I'm like,
okay,
exactly. This is okay.
It's just like me looking back.
Not as bad.
It's like looking back when I was like 145 pounds. Like, wow, what was I doing? Now looking now.
So is it harder to have like now and then pictures since you've been working out so much now? So like it's not like
a transformation.
Yeah,
picture?
There's not as much of a hardcore transformation.
I would say like currently yes, because I'm not really doing like a bulk or cut. I'm just kind of maintaining right now, or just kind of building upon it. But there's always room for before and after pictures. Especially just look at any pro bodybuilder or any IFBB bodybuilder. You can look at their IFBB. That's I forget what it stands for, and I don't want to butcher it, but it's the most highly recognized bodybuilding organization.
Okay.
But yeah, just look at any of their competitors before and after pictures, and it'll be night and day.
So, who is your bodybuilding idol? Is it Arnold or is it the dude who jumped out of a pool?
You know, Arnold.
Bradley Martyn.
Yes,
Arnold
him.
will always be, you know, in the top
Arnold.
motivators. Arnold. But he will always be, you know, one of the top guys, you know, kind of look up to, because he really brought it to the mainstream. Like, there's no way to say that I could be bodybuilding today if it weren't for him, because, you know, he brought other people. He inspired other people. He brought it to the mainstream, because before then, it was just, you know, bodybuilders were these antisocial, you know, let me do my thing, I'm not going to talk, you know, just eat. But, you know, he's so charismatic, you know. So, Arnold Schwarzenegger is definitely in the top. Definitely a fan of Bradley Martyn as well. I mean, just because...
Jumped out of a pool.
That's
Yeah.
fucking
Do you
crazy.
jump
I still can't get over that.
yeah, it's definitely motivating, you know, like, see these guys, what they can do and what their physiques are like.
Have you ever tried to jump out of a pool?
No.
Or, like, have you ever, like, tried to, like,
No.
seen something that, like, a professional bodybuilder has, like, posted and been like, I wonder if I can do that?
Not like, as extreme as that, but, like, exercises or workouts that they post, I mean, that definitely helps.
What
You know,
about
I'll try that.
squatting with 2 girls as the weights?
Yeah, like, have you tried, like, their
Yeah,
kind
maybe
of
try that.
stunt stuff?
I haven't really tried any of the stunt stuff, just because that's definitely something that they can do. That's their stunt. That's not something that
Yeah.
everybody can do. So you know.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, but
Would you ever consider it though?
if I got to that point, yes, I definitely. If you can do something like that, why not?
I respect that.
But how do they know they can do it without trying something like that first?
like-
So do you ever, like...
Wait.
I'll
No, but,
say
like,
this,
do you
like-
ever try any ridiculous thing? You're like, I wonder if I can pick up that, like, car right there. Do you ever have thoughts like that? Like, that's obviously hyperbole.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
like, do you ever have thoughts like that where you're like, I wonder if I could do that? And then you just try.
I mean, yeah, I've obviously like dumb, you know, like stupid little things here and there, like, oh, I wonder if I could do this, you know, like I've picked up like, you know, just a girl in each arm, like here, you know, just walked around or something, or it'll be my guy friend on my back, and you know, I'll be like squatting and you know, just dumb things like that. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you get like thoughts, but nothing like, you know, like crazy,
Wild thoughts.
Okay.
wild thoughts.
Would you ever consider competitive bodybuilding, like in the future?
Yeah, I definitely at least want to try it. I mean, because I'm already dead set that I want to do it when I have the resources and the time. I mean, I don't know how far I can take it or I will take it, but it's set that I'm definitely going to compete when I have the resources.
That's cool.
So how can you get these resources? And what are the resources you need? Is it just the money or is it more connections?
Bodybuilding
or
is definitely a sport of money.
Okay.
And it's not so much connections because, I mean, you could say there's a political aspect of it, but that's getting real deep, and that's not really a level to touch on because that's not intricate, but just that's a whole other level of interest. But it's definitely money, it's time, and it's resources.
Okay.
Because, I mean, right now in college, I mean, money's low, resources low,
Feel
time
ya.
limited. You know, so it's kind of like making do with what I have right now, like the Xavier O'Connor Center and whatever groceries we get from Kroger.
Yeah.
So then when you graduate college and you have, well, possibly you could have more time or you could have less depending on if you get a job or not straight out. But let's just say you do have that time. At that point, are you going to say, I'm all in?
Yeah, if I definitely feel like my physique is at a level where I can make a good accomplishment with it or put a good competition level in, yeah, it's definitely something I'd consider.
Are you planning on using these like next couple years in college to possibly prep for that?
I definitely want to add on to my physique because I definitely feel there are some weak spots or some areas that definitely could need
Triceps,
improvement. Or
biceps.
But also, like, do you have like a bodybuilding piggy bank, like something where you're just like for every dollar I'm like every $20 I make I'm putting $1 into this for my future in bodybuilding.
I definitely have like a fund set aside. Like I don't have like a dedicated, you know, this is what I'm going to set aside for every X amount of dollars. It's like, you know, it goes off needs because honestly, as much as I love it, and as much as I love to, you know, I want to be a part of it. It's not a top priority right now.
Yeah.
Because education, of course, has to be because everybody in this room knows Xavier is not at all cheap. So to put this kind of money in, this kind of money in, and then put something else ahead of that is a bit asinine at the moment. So,
What's your major?
Exercise science.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's the games.
Sorry.
So what is your goal with studying exercise science? Is this just because it's your passion, or do you want to be like a physical trainer? Or?
I've always had more of a thing for just health and fitness. I mean, I've never been real good at math, or like I was good at English and history, but there's not really much I could do in English and history to improve upon it or add to it.
I'm thinking now combining those studies with your interests, like being able to like be right about health and fitness and like
for like bodybuilding,
share this stuff. Yeah, because I mean that is a niche that will pay, and people care a lot about health and fitness.
Yeah.
Kev's your counselor.
He's my financial aid. Do you want to be my manager, or you want to?
God, no. I know. Do not let me manage your money.
Because it will not be there.
Yeah.
It's just all sitting in like a Scrooge McDuck kind of room.
Oh God, no! That room is empty. It's full of cobwebs, man.
That's cool.
But yeah, I really don't have an in-game like just dead set. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to be because
Yeah.
I definitely want to add on. Like a certificate in nutrition or. Because I'm doing the university's 3+2 program, so I'll have my bachelor's in exercise science in 3 years, and then my master's in athletic training in 2.
Oh, cool.
So I just know that I want to be in the health fitness field, or I want to be helping others, kind of continue in that path. I don't want to just, sit idly by, or I couldn't really see myself doing anything else for a living.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. So do you see yourself more as like, you said like athletic training. It would be your master's, yeah?
Yeah.
So are you aiming more towards helping athletes or more towards just helping people who want to be fit? Like, do you have a preference?
Well, helping athletes would definitely be towards where the money is. But, I mean, so that would probably be a good start. But I don't, discriminate when it comes to helping people. Like I said, if it just comes to the willingness, it just comes to, how invested you are versus how invested you want me to be.
So which group do you think would have more, like, invested in it? Like athletes because they're like, I need to do this.
Athletes
for this,
definitely have
or people
more
that are just like interiorly motivated for the pure
pursuit.
I think athletes inherently have a deeper investment level because that's kind of their well-being and their that's their paycheck. That's where it comes from. It comes from them working that hard. Mm-hmm. Versus the average person, they may have a great internal drive. I'm not saying the average person doesn't want to make a change, for greater. They don't want to drive to make a change, but I mean they're gonna have less vested, normally speaking. So they may not be that driven.
Yeah, because their priorities will be elsewhere.
Yeah. So, but again, I'll open helping anybody, or I want to be able to help everybody. I want to help as many people as I can.
So I thought of a great question. Or at least a question I think is interesting. How is being in college a place where there is like a heavy, well, I don't know how much this applies to Xavier, but like with partying, and like the calories that you can get from drinking beer, the unhealthiness that comes from, I'm not saying you smoke or like do any other external drugs, but like how do those fit into this? Does it affect the way that you would train? Or do you like account for like this stuff in your like if you're watching your calories? Do you say, okay, I'm gonna do this and I'm not gonna do this? And when you're like trying to get more fit, will you drop some of that stuff?
I mean, most definitely. I mean, in the college aspect, there are parties, there's drinking, there's etc. Not to not incriminate anybody or anyone. So some people I know, people I know, partake, or even fitness people that I know, because I mean, just like anywhere else, even in the higher up levels of bodybuilding, drugs are a problem. Because there was a time period where opioids were big with bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Like in I can't remember what period exactly, but Yeah. But definitely drinking when it comes to dieting and like. Well, what a lot of people, because it's just empty calories, but what a lot of people don't know is that, I mean, say they go do a great workout, and then they go drinking the night after. Well, alcohol actually, I mean, and I don't know the whole in-depth scientific process, so I'm going to butcher it. The alcohol actually is sending a chemical messenger that is telling your body to stop that recovery process. So you're just kind of ruining your workout.
Because I remember reading my freshman year of high school. This was when I actually did work out in high school for a bit. But I read this thing
Kevin
that said
with the game.
One night of smoking and drinking ruins 17 days of working out, which was why I quit working out. So
Oh
that kind of
my
like,
God.
thought about
That's
that
perfect.
question.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
But that's a good one.
That's perfect.
That's perfect. But yeah, I mean, definitely that's with a lot of people. Like we talk about, motivation or like as far as helping. A lot of people want to like stop drinking for
Yeah.
because they're like, oh no, this is fun. This is what I do on the weekends. Well,
Yeah.
that just goes to your value, your priorities. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you value it, you'll make change. You'll do something for it. I mean, I haven't always been around this Xavier College environment, but I even in the earlier environments where you're exposed to other things later on, it's like, no, this is what I want, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna work for this.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel
Honestly,
motivated.
do you think that like partying in
Yeah,
general
after that.
tends to, or can possibly like stunt the aspirations of certain people because they'll say, oh, partying is what I want to do, and because they party, they can't do.
Yo, what
they
do you think
can't
the
go towards
freshman
the dream.
15 is?
That's not like a real thing though.
Yeah, it is.
I've never seen it.
I've
Wanna
seen
see
it in a
pictures
lot
of
of
me
people.
freshman year because it's real. Yeah, everyone
I
I,
didn't
know
get
gained
it.
10 to 15 pounds.
I didn't. I
Freshman year.
lost.
I
I lost
like
weight
10
when I came.
pounds.
I was
to
like,
college.
I went back
Really?
and forth. I was
Yeah.
gaining and losing weight. It was crazy.
'Cause I was like one.
We are the
190.
1%.
Yeah.
Literally everyone I know gained 10 to 15 pounds.
But yeah.
Maybe that was your freshman year.
It was.
But
I think our freshman year was alright.
I think partying can help people, or people who can definitely get caught up in it can definitely sidetrack them because it's. I mean, because I'm not saying be antisocial or completely shut yourself out from the outside world. Like still go out, have fun because. This is something I've
Partying
actually,
is pretty nice.
thought about a lot because I've sacrificed a lot of social life during high school to, work out or
Yeah.
kind of just. I say that as if I had a choice, like people do what I have. Yeah, no, but yeah, I was in, yeah. No, I'd like to think I have friends, but no,
We'll
definitely
do research into the background.
the background of that. But I think partying can sidetrack people, but I think it can also just prove as a good medium for relief, because it's stressful. I mean, and you're just work, and everything becomes a job. Everything becomes
Rihanna?
do this.
I'm sorry. That's the only thing I think of when you said that.
That's the
Sorry.
second time you've quoted Rihanna in this session.
Honestly, that's bae. That's
Right.
That's
bae.
bae. Rihanna's
Right.
bae.
But
I bought her foundation the other day.
Oh yeah, her makeup.
I was in a barber
barbershop
shop the other
It's
day
really
called
nice.
Uncle Bumpy's.
Uncle Bumpy.
Yeah, in Westchester.
That sounds like you're getting some
Yeah.
razor bumps or something.
and
you better catch some type of
nah. And then this dude was getting his hair cut, and the barber was like roasting him or saying some shit. And,
Roasted.
like,
Boy.
yeah, and I don't remember like who, something like the barber said something about like a golden shower, and then like the guy's like, yeah, I'd let Rihanna pee on me.
Oh, yo!
All right,
Yo.
so should we? end on
Rihanna
that
bad
note?
as hell, but like, she's not peeing on me. Sorry. Sorry.
I was in a record store a few years ago, and I forget who it was. It was some electronic artist. What's her name? Famous electronic artist.
Singer?
Electronica. I don't know.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Yeah. I don't know that type
Alice in
of music.
Wonderland.
No, I forget who it was, but like I was looking at like this sticker for an upcoming show, and this guy, like with my friend, this guy just like walks up to us, and we're like 16 or whatever. This guy's like 35. He was like, "Oh yeah, her? Yeah, I'd let her pee on my face
Oh my god.
anytime."
Why?
And then he just walked away, and I was like,
don't get it.
"Yeah, what is the reason for that input?"
Like, I don't understand. This is the thing, because people get on me for eating ass, right?
All right.
let's-
All
No.
right, we're done.
This is your show.
Podcast.
This is your show, but I'm gonna have to stop that.
Why?
Nah.
We're not gonna talk about
Yeah.
sexual preferences.
So bodybuilding, yeah.
Yeah. All
You
right.
guys just- you guys
but
just,
do
like,
you
killed
guys
me.
want to cut it?
Yes.
You guys want to cut it?
I'm sad.
I'm sad now. I couldn't say my point. I could have just like taken it out, but like at least let me say what I want to say. No, it's over now. It's over.
Alright.
But I actually have a real question or a real point to make. That's not ass related. And it's going back to sort of this party angle. I watched the video recently of this random dude. I don't know who he was, and he was like, it's crazy how in society people are so excited for the weekend and they're so excited for that break from their normal life that like living that type of lifestyle is sort of sad. And you spend 5 days out of your week waiting for 2 days that you don't enjoy what you do during your own like actual time that you can't wait till you get to the weekend.
And that's why I eat ass. But no, I totally get that point.
I hate
It's
you.
about finding like a passion that you can do 7 days out of the week, and then having stuff.
This is fantastic.
I didn't think this is what I signed up for.
This is fantastic.
He's
Honestly,
like, "Get me out.
to be honest,
I'm
I might
done."
not edit any of this.
No,
like,
you are.
I might
You're
not.
going to.
I might not. This is like all good.
Nick, you're muscular, and
you.
it's pleasing to look at.
Thank you. I will take
I
that
would-
as a
I-
compliment.
I would
guess.
agree. I would agree.
But yeah, I guess my closing thoughts are, just don't be afraid to go to the gym. Anybody that is, because we all know that the people who they want to make a change for the better, they want to get in shape, or but they're afraid of change, or they're not maybe necessarily lazy. They just don't know what to
being
do.
judged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, that's another thing that you come to learn is, especially as you just get older in life. I mean, we're just
You
about
realize
on the cusp of-
nobody's looking at you.
I mean, we're all here in the
Yeah.
cusp of this room from 19 to 22,
Done.
21.
Diane?
Kev, you're 21 now, right? Or
A
you just
month.
about in a month.
Yeah.
But
Happy
we're all
birthday.
just kind of getting to a point in life where we're just kind of gradually starting to care about what people think less. I mean, there'll always be that aspect where you kind of think about it, but you're kind of getting into your own niche. You're starting to do what you want to do, and you're finding your way in life. So it's definitely that you should do what interests you, and if you want to make a change, make a change. Don't be afraid of being judged or what other people think. If you want to do something, definitely go out there and do it.
What do you say to like 12, 13-year-old kids who
Yeah.
may want to go to the gym, may want to start this particular path of becoming a bodybuilder, but they're hesitant?
Oh, well, I mean, that's definitely such a young age start. But
Yeah.
like as a
Well,
bodybuilder. No,
13.
I definitely get what you're
Well,
saying.
no. I'm not talking about them from like
Yeah.
at 12 becoming a bodybuilder,
But
like them like
kids
thinking
want to
about it.
who like kind of want to I mean like definitely it's something that I wish I
The
could have told
12-year-old
myself. Like I know
intelligence.
I know what you mean. It's like just commit, be dedicated early on, and just take it slow. There's no rush. There's nothing's gonna happen overnight. It's the small things. Work on form, work on eating right, work on nutrition and work ethic from a young age, and it's stuff that improves with time as you work on it. So
How often do you think about bodybuilding? Because no, like this is a real
It's
question.
his
Yeah,
major.
Wait.
That's exercise science, not bodybuilding.
But,
Yeah,
you know,
bodybuilding
Yeah.
is not a
The
major.
idea.
You can't major in bodybuilding, but because
Not yet.
you seem to be very calculated about how you go about what you're doing, and you seem to know a lot about it. Like you're not just clueless with this. So
Yeah.
how often do you think about
I mean, it's definitely just because I follow a lot of bodybuilders on social media, or I'm in the gym, and it's an exercise that I'm trying to exercise I've seen somebody do, or it's nutrition you think about. So I mean, it's definitely an everyday thing for me. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a lifestyle because I'm not competing yet, or I'm not registered with any organization.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely, I've spent, I can't tell you how many hours just in the gym, and that's where a lot of knowledge comes from. It comes from working with different types of people, different knowledge levels, because I've learned almost more things. Because I've had to feel a lot of things out for myself and learn a lot of things for myself, but the forms on certain exercises or how to really work that muscle the best or get the best type of contraction, that's things you learn about, talking with other people in the gym, or, people who might be younger than you, but they're stronger than you, or people might be older than you but they're weaker than you. You can learn something from anybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Nick, for coming out to the studio.
Yeah, no.
and bullshitting with us.
Yeah, I know. It's been a fun time to say the least.
I mean, we try to make it a little
watching you
challenging.
incognito eat gummy bears, trying not to set off the mic.
Nobody was supposed to know. Nobody was supposed to know. I'll just take that one
that
word
little
out.
tidbit out.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you got all the way to the end,
Congratulations.
tell us how sexy you think Kevin is. In the comments. In the comments,
Are we on
if you make it all the way
Are
to
we
the
on
end.
an adjective scale or like a 1 to 10 scale?
Ooh.
Actually,
let's go
no
on
1 to
both.
10. That's
No 1 to 10,
Yeah,
that'd be mean.
That
Actually,
sounds
yeah.
terrible.
Well, no, I'm just saying because
You're trying to build me up so I can
Yeah.
go to the gym, not tear me
Adjective.
down.
Adjective.
Well, hey, we'll take whatever that they rate you, and then we'll build them up from there.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So
This is what's wrong with the world.
adjectives. So adjectives.
Adjective.
But
Adjectives
adjectives
are
are hurtful too.
Anyway, before Kevin loses his mind.
Oh, we all know Kev gets bitches. We all know. We're aware.
Yeah, Kevin's a player.
Kev pulls.
Holds a different area code.
Actually, yeah.
Oh, he fags though. But
we're getting sidetracked.
thank y'all for listening. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.
See you next week.